Just what is a hack? Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for AskLeo.com with an interesting question that I think a lot of us take for granted, but when you think about it, is a little bit more complex than you think. Here's the question. I see the word hack getting used a lot, and by a lot, I mean seemingly everywhere, every day. But not all the uses make sense. What's it really mean? Well, actually, the word hack can mean several different things depending on context. Let's start with the most important definition, the one that I think people worry about the most. And that is hack in the sense of an account hack. Hack in this context really means nothing more than unauthorized access. Seriously, that's it. If someone who shouldn't have access to your account does, they've hacked your account. If someone has unauthorized access to data that they shouldn't have access to, well, they've hacked the data. It really does mean nothing more than unauthorized access in this context. Now, it builds on prior definitions or other definitions of the term. For example, there's also the concept of what I'll call a clever hack. So that needs a little bit more explanation. Especially when it comes to computers, there are all sorts of opportunities for these kinds of clever hacks. Here's an example, a very oversimplified example. If you want to multiply a number by 2, there are several approaches you can take. You can, for example, simply go 9, in this case, times 2, and you come up with 18. Or, since you know that it's 2, you can simply say 9 plus 9, also 18. But inside the computer, numbers are represented in binary. And when you take a binary number and shift it to the left, in other words, you simply add a 0 to the right-hand side, you've also multiplied it by 2. So all you've done is you've shifted the bit pattern for that number one binary digit to the left. That multiplies by 2. The latter can be considered a clever or an interesting solution to the problem, a solution that might not be obvious. That might, in some circles, be considered a hack. It's important in computers because, for example, multiplication is slower than addition, and addition is typically slower than just shifting a number by one bit. So folks who are interested in programming efficiently or coming up with code that runs as fast as possible are often looking for these kinds of tricks or hacks to make their code run faster. Sometimes the hacks are obvious and simple. Sometimes they're fairly obscure but have quite a bit of a payoff. There's another hack that you've probably heard of, and that's what I'll refer to as a growth hack or a life hack. It's more of a conceptual version of the clever hack that I just talked about. It's something that you could do that's not obvious, that might make your life better, might make you more intelligent more quickly than traditional means. Once again, it's a clever, perhaps not obvious approach to solving a problem or gaining an edge that not everybody understands or knows about. So finally, we get down to hackers. Put simply, hackers hack using hacks. By that I mean, hackers, the individuals who are doing this kind of stuff, they hack, in other words, gain unauthorized access to various forms of information or accounts by exploiting these clever tricks, these other hacks, this other kind of hack that allows them to do the things that they do. Most of these clever tricks, these hacks, are exploitations of various vulnerabilities, but nonetheless, they are clever, they are not obvious, and they are something that the hackers then go out of their way to try and discover and exploit. So hackers, the people who do it, hack, the first definition, gain unauthorized access by using hacks. The second definition, these clever or unobvious tricks to make things happen. And of course, hacker culture is kind of built around this ability to discover these things that can be exploited through means of various hacks. I hope this helps clarify the definition a little bit about what it means to be a hacker, hack something, or have an account be hacked. If there's only one definition to really remember from this, it really is the first one. That's the most important one, and that's the one that probably impacts you the most on an ongoing basis. A hack really does mean nothing more than unauthorized access. Hope that was helpful. For links, for updates, for comments, and more, visit askleo.com/133585. I'm Leo Notenboom. This is AskLeo.com. Thanks for watching.